Hey guys, it's Justin. As always, for all of our content, go over to garageathletes.com, sign up for our newsletter. Today on Garage Athletes, we talk with Freddy and Raphael Assuncao. Both them and their brother, Junior, are all professional MMA fighters. Freddy being ranked number 1 under Titan in the Southeast region, and Raphael being ranked number 3 in the world under UFC. We go over their almost cinematic story that starts in fighting in the streets in Brazil as children to being at the top of the MMA world. We also take a look into their life and their day-to-day routines. This is a really cool podcast, and they have a really cool story. Make sure you check this one out. Hey guys, not all athletes are created equal. Individual programs are the best way to reach your full athletic potential, but they're expensive. We've created a training system that allows us to test you and place you into one of our program designs based on your strengths and weaknesses. Because of this, you can get the full effect of an individualized program without the cost. So go check it out under programs at garageathletes.com. The thing's, oh man, all right. All right, guys, here we are. We are back with another episode of Garage Athletes Podcast. I'm here with Raphael, right, and Freddy Assuncao. Yes, sir. I said that right.
You got it.
So, actually, before we get started, I'm really curious. Do you have any idea why the R's are so different in America from Brazil? Because everybody in America that didn't know you would call you Raphael.
Man, in Portuguese has a lot of what do we call it? A lot of sentences, like a lot of different way they use each sentence or each word. I have no idea. Portuguese is very hard, man.
Very close.
It's really a mix between.
You see that you can't use the 2 R's before the D or the B, so it's a lot of little little things that you have to use as. You know, when you're writing,
it really is really a hard language to learn. You know, we don't even know. You know, perfect.
I have a hard time writing. I write better. I'm fluent writing. I can read and write everything I speak in English.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I couldn't do everything in Portuguese.
It's so complex.
I just remember watching like Royce Gracie starting out or whatever. I thought his name was Royce. I was like, it's Royce Gracie, and like all those starting out because I didn't know any better. And then the internet came about and this and that. Like he's talking about like in the 90s, and it was kind of weird. So I mean, a lot of the fighters, obviously Brazil has a very, very big standing in MMA. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think at this point, everybody knows that if they're Brazilian and their name starts with an R, it's going to sound like an H to America. But you can't say it sounds like an H because in Brazil, an R just sounds that way. So
it's funny because it could sound either way. Like we always thought it was funny when we moved to the U.S. because we started learning names in Spanish.
Yeah.
And how the J.
Yeah,
it's
like a J, a G, or like in Spanish, it's a H.
It's an H.
It's an H for us, Juan. So it's funny how different it is. Yeah,
you wonder where it all came from. So I'm sorry, we got. So I'm here with Raphael and Freddy Assuncao. Both are MMA fighters. If you haven't heard about them already, you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves. Starting with Freddy, kind of what you are, what you do, where you're at right now.
I'm a professional fighter. Also, I'm an instructor, MMA instructor, in Alpharetta, Georgia. Name of the gym is called KBX Gym. So basically, we come from a family of fighters. It kind of runs in the family. We also have another brother, Junior Assuncao. He's a year older than Rafi and I, because we're twins actually. We're fraternal twins. So
I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought you were younger
than him.
I thought maybe you told me that in the beginning.
Yeah, well, technically, I'm younger, but like
about like 20 seconds.
Yeah, like 2 minutes. But he's the older twin. I'm the youngest, and Junior.
Do you give him shit about that growing up? Like I'm older than you? even though it's only by like 20 minutes?
Sometimes I try to take charge of stuff.
Yeah, he's always been like kind of like, even though he was the smallest one, he was always like, until this day, he's always like the big brother. You know, Junior's a big brother officially, but you know, he's more of a guy like, whatever, do whatever. And if I tell him, I'm gonna fight Anderson Silva tomorrow, he's like, yeah, man, heck yeah, cool. If I tell Raphael, he's like, oh, we gotta think about it. You know, let's see what we need to do. So you know, Raphael kind of acts more like the big brother.
He's y'all's manager.
Yeah, basically.
He's your talent manager.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about talent management, all that other kind of stuff, tell us real quick, what is your accomplishment right now? Because right now you're ranked number 1. We were just talking about off the air.
Yeah, right now I'm the number 1 guy in my weight division in Georgia.
In the Southeast, it's like the
whole Southeast.
Yeah, basically. Like as far as you know, up and coming prospect, I only have about 9 professional fights, but I've been undefeated since my second fight.
Okay.
You know, so I've been on a 7-fight win streak. I got a good win streak going. I'm probably, you know, I'm at a good level where I'm at. You know, I'm training with high level guys like my brother on a daily basis, and you know, so yeah, you know.
So would you say I guess what promotion are you with?
I'm with Titan
FC.
FC.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Rafi, you're with UFC, and you said you're currently, where are you ranked at now?
I'm ranked number 3 right now.
In UFC or in
the world?
In the world.
In the UFC, but pretty much
it's pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
And
yeah, I'm behind the champion, so I'm behind 3 guys. So there's the champion, number 1, number 2, and then I'm number 3.
Okay. So who are those guys right now?
So the champion be Dillashaw.
Okay.
So he's a reigning champion, and then there's another Brazilian named Brown, and then Uriah Faber comes in second, and I come in third.
Okay, and you're currently injured right now, but
I'm
you were
injured,
set
yes.
up to fight him before you got injured in training, weren't you?
Yeah, 7 occasions now. I mean, it's just a little frustrating, but just last I had a fracture on my ankle in December.
How did that happen? Just in training, or?
Yeah, I just rolled my ankle.
Oh wow!
And,
it's not even like a heel hook or anything.
No. I think I was taking Freddy down, and I rolled my ankle, and a little bit of his weight was still on my leg. I couldn't pull it off. Usually, I'm really good at avoiding injury.
Yeah. You got to be a fighter, right?
Yeah.
Like, to be that good, like that's the number one thing.
I'm sure in CrossFit it'd be the same thing. You know, a high level CrossFit guy, I'm sure he avoids a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Versus going crazy. You know. Like,
You're right. No, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing is consistency in any type of training method, be it CrossFit, weightlifting, bodybuilding. Like, you see the guys that don't get hurt, they end up there because you have to stop training. What happens? Like, if you can't train,
I'm really good at avoiding injuries. Like, when I snapped my ankle, I was so well balanced as far as my ankle that my ligament had nothing. Because I had a sprain with a fracture, and that's like 2 in 1.
Yeah,
2 times. Because you see how
that's
a lot
not
of
walking for a couple weeks.
Yeah, a lot of people go. So you've heard several occasions that people were like, "Oh, it's better to have a fracture than a sprain," just because a sprain sucks.
Yeah.
So I had 2. I had a sprain with
both.
Yeah, I had both of them. Yeah,
Man.
but the sprain healed up perfect, so I had no ligament damage whatsoever.
Freddie, did you do that on purpose to try and put him out?
No.
That sucks.
I'm trying to start crap between brothers.
I know. No, that sucked because we knew that he was next for the title.
Yeah.
And that he probably knew the day before that he was like, man, probably gonna be fighting for the title.
Did you know where you guys were gonna fight at yet?
Where
were you fighting in the States or in Brazil or where?
I think it was gonna be here in the States.
In the States, okay.
It's pretty much lined up, man. I
Yeah.
think I was gonna sign a contract like the next day or something.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it was real bad.
Well, it's good that it happened right before you signed it and not right after.
That's
because then that could have messed.
That's the contract. All it would have happened was I would have signed another contract. So basically, they can just rip the contract. And
okay.
All right.
So
my main contract
remains,
and then there's a little clause and there's a little official bout agreement.
I got you.
So you have a main contract, and every bout you sign a little like a smaller contract.
Okay. Man, the sport's gotten a lot of different, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been in it for a long time, and actually, I want to talk about that because you guys started literally just three brothers fighting, right? And
we came from we came to America when we were 12, so if my math is good, right around 94, 94, 95. So I used to fight. Freddie was a little quieter as far as like fighting. I literally been fighting for 20 years because before I left Brazil, I used to fight there.
Just like in the streets or like?
Yeah, in the streets.
Really?
Or playing because MMA started growing in Brazil. We were about 14 then, so it was around 98.
Now you say you were fighting. Were you like training and was like Gracie style jiu-jitsu? Like
we weren't trained. Nobody trained. Just a name. Like you started getting because of Royce Gracie. You started getting real popular. So we started like playing. Like we played soccer out there. Yeah, like here in the U.S., he would play baseball out in the parking lot.
Yeah,
we were playing fighting over there.
Yeah,
in Brazil.
So sometimes,
and I loved it, man, because I was the smallest guy, and I'll fight three guys in a row.
Yeah.
They were pissed off.
Because you just had better. I mean, you could go all day.
It's just natural, pretty much.
That's crazy.
I remember in Candeias, I used to go there and then.
Especially because actually my our cousin in our mom's side, he was actually the first one of the family to start MMA. That was back in the Royce Gracie days. That was back in late 90s.
Royce Gracie was in 93. He was 97, 98. So
but it was still like Zuff Entertainment before Dana White bought it out. Because I remember back in like 93, 94, I was renting the cassette tapes from Blockbuster.
Right.
Watching like Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah,
like,
we did that. We did that too.
So did you have Blockbuster in
No,
in
but
Brazil?
when we moved
when you moved
Miami,
here, okay.
Yeah, we moved in 94.
They had the videos already. Yeah.
And cousin, he was already, I mean, to have an idea, it was bare knuckle. I mean, no way.
Vale Tudo.
He was a professional. So, and I used to go watch him fight. Be all
This
excited.
is your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin. He was the first one in the family.
So you got another one that's fighting.
Yeah.
So your whole family is just
my cousin was the original like fighter of the family.
Yeah.
He was the one that became professional. And he won like a couple of small titles up there in northeastern Brazil.
And how much older was he than you?
He's 38 now, so he's about 5 years older than us right now.
Do you think him kind of being able to look up to him, do you think him fighting up there like really had a big influence on you wanting to do it as something more than just playing in the street?
I just like the environment because it was like even though I was so young, Freddy went to a couple of the shows. I used to go more to those Vale Tudo shows a lot more, but it was like a man environment. I was so little of a guy. I was so young. And it's crazy environment, like this guy environment, just guys going at it. Yeah. And I'm like cage side.
You can't even see over the cage because you're so small.
No, like literally grabbing the cage, screaming to my cousin, and then the security will come. Oh, that's my cousin! I'm screaming, acting crazy. But you can feel the tension, and he was like a real man. It was a big man environment. And my cousin did a tournament that night. And he actually won that tournament. He did 3 fights in one night. He fought he fought
a ex-con.
Like an ex-con, and then he fought like a jiu-jitsu guy. Then he fought a guy that...
They used to do that all the time, too. I mean, it was a tournament. You fight multiple people a day.
Yeah, like an 8-man tournament.
Now it's 6 months between single fights.
Yeah.
Like that's much, it's completely different world. So do you think, or do you remember a specific time? Was it that night, or was it at another time when you and I'm asking both you guys this? And by the way, if you're just listening to the audio podcast, we apologize because Rafi and Freddy are both brothers, so they do kind of sound alike too. So it might get confusing. Go check out the video version of this, and we'll put a link in there for that. As long as Rafi's sponsors let us. So, but so Freddy. Or I'll ask it both you guys. Do you remember the time when you said, "Okay, I want to do this for a living now"?
Well, I remember myself. I was actually the last of the brothers to actually get into MMA. But it was my cousin definitely had a big influence in for us to all start. Actually, Junior, my older brother, was the first one to really got into. So how we started in martial arts in general was since mom, she moved here, and she was a single mom, and she, by the time we were 12, 13, we're, 3 boys. It was really, really hard. She worked over 12 hours a day. And
was she a single mom or?
Single mom.
Oh, wow.
So she had a really hard time, just handling us. And she put us in.
Especially 3 boys fighting.
Right.
Oh, man.
So
did she beat your ass, though?
She used to whoop our, she did. She used to whoop our ass. She needed to, but it became a point where she couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I would say if you literally fight for fun, spankings don't really do the trick anymore.
I mean, we would take the belt, from her hand. Nah, you're not gonna hit me anymore. So what she did, she put us in martial arts, which is actually capoeira. Which is the Brazilian martial art.
Man, I did that when I was younger. I wasn't any good at it.
Oh,
but
really?
We tried. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I saw that. What's that movie? Only the Strong.
Only the Strong. Yeah.
That made me want it. I was like, man, that is the coolest thing ever.
We're familiar with those guys from Only the Strong.
Only the Strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was filmed in Miami, Florida.
Oh really?
And, we know all those guys.
And that's where your brother lives now, right?
Yeah.
In Miami.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we when we first moved to the U.S., we lived in Miami for 5 years. Before we made transition.
Okay, all
to
you
Atlanta.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we started in capoeira. So really, our master was, it became to a point where he was like a father figure for us because, since we didn't have dad around and we got trouble in school. I mean, he was the guy to, mom would call and say the kids are not doing well.
Go beat their asses.
Yeah. Literally. He used to whoop our asses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. You got to have a father figure, though. What would have happened if you guys didn't have that father figure? You might end up in jail.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
seriously, yeah.
So you guys moved into Miami. You said you guys were 12 or 13?
12, yep.
From 12 to 15, we lived in Miami. And then when we came to Atlanta, we were about 15, 16 years old. When we came to Atlanta, we've been here ever since.
So you weren't there whole long. So you guys have been here for
way longer.
Yeah. So you said you were doing capoeira. Capoeira, although it may have been argued back 93, 94 that it was a great way to fight somebody.
Right.
Now you're not going to see anybody winning the UFC title doing I forgot the name. The Jenga. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So actually, we used to, our master, he was one of the guys that, we used to idolize him and say, and he used to tell us he's gonna fight in the UFC, and we used to, wow, we used to believe it, and say, man, Master's gonna fight.
He never did it.
Well, do you remember the guy back in? I can't remember his name now, but there's a guy that was like this great big like ninjutsu master. And to me, it was capoeira, and then I went into ninjutsu because I thought that was the coolest thing ever because it's freaking ninjas. I mean, what's cooler than ninjas,
I know, right? For kids.
And then that dude came in and he got his ass kicked to him. I don't remember when it was. It was like UFC 3 or something.
Yeah.
It was like
I remember the one that got elbowed by it.
Oh man, he got him in like a north south or something like that.
He elbowed with the
no, it was a crucifix. He got him in a crucifix and just elbowed the shit out of him. I thought he was gonna kill him.
That was dangerous.
It was Goodrich, wasn't it? I think it was it Gary Goodrich or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna do.
You're good with names, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing ninjutsu anymore. After that, I'm like, screw that.
So no, but also capoeira really, I'm sure for Freddy too, really taught us how to really train. Like because even we were so young, but we train. Remember when we trained twice a day in summer? So we'll train twice a day, and we'll train where we lived, like by the recreation area or the building. Yeah,
we'll do stuff
on the lobby. Literally, we'll plug the music.
Yeah.
And then we'll train hard, man. Yeah. So we'll do 2 classes a day, and that was for even back then we trained twice a day. So training martial arts twice a day. Now a lot of people go, man, you train twice a day. I said sometimes I train 3 times a day.
But anything else to do.
We used to do it back then.
Run on the beach with mastery.
Sometimes
now,
3 times
when you were
a day.
doing this though, did you have aspirations of fighting professionally, and that was going to be your route, or was it just something you guys were doing for fun to pass the time during the summer or something?
We didn't have a purpose of becoming professional. There was no career then. Mm-hmm. We just did it for fun.
Yeah, you're right. And I remember I started training with in Memphis when I was 18 with Jeff Mullins is his name, and he did a lot of judges for UFC, and he was the only at the time when I moved there. This is almost 15 years ago now. He was the only Gracie jiu-jitsu instructor there or
Mhm.
whatever. And I
Barrier.
remember
Gotcha.
training with him. But even then, like, you know, when I was watching it, like, nobody made money at it. Like, I mean, you could be an amateur and make money nowadays. And, like, unless you were the very top guy and you won, you weren't really making any money back then.
Right.
So I didn't have any aspirations either, even though I wanted to do it, you know, like, but the difference.
But we did it, man.
Yeah, you ended up-
trained so much, and we did swimming classes. We just trained all of our lives, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the transition, it started becoming a very popular transition from capoeira to jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our friends started doing it. Our older friends in Miami started doing. So when we moved to Atlanta, we stopped training capoeira because there was no capoeira here. You know, we trained for 6 months to a year. We would still train on our own.
Well, we were teaching classes. We were teaching.
Yeah, we would try to run a program, but we were so young, man, you know.
Yeah.
And it really never worked out because, you know, we were so young. And
We had school too when we
yeah,
came.
exactly. We had school. We were trying to run a little capoeira program, but
Yeah.
we were like, I don't know, 16 years old, maybe.
Yeah,
17.
we'll go to
Entrepreneurs, though, man.
We'll go to like
16
some
years old.
We got to go to some condo and like try to gather people and
Yeah.
girls. And
That's
stuff.
way fucking cooler than having like a grass cutting business at 16,
Right.
which is
I
like
know,
more
right?
along the lines of what I did.
I know.
Pressure washing.
That-
baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, definitely
I'll wash your car.
Yeah, definitely helped us with the chicks, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when
you
we
get out there
were-
with your shirt off and you start dancing.
Yeah.
Who cares if you don't make any money?
Fred is a capoeira master, not a master, but he's a capoeira instructor, like a official capoeira instructor.
Dude, I want to take lessons from you. Even though I would rather do it now than before. I've
Yeah.
always said it, but like now nobody even has ever heard of it. Like
Right.
no, like you say it and they're like, what is that? Like
Yeah.
bless you.
Few
Is that a
people-
coffee drink?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a capoeira.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. So you say you slowly made the transition when you moved up here. So that was kind of like the kickoff point to
Right.
start training
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu.
our older brother Junior, he joined a school here in Atlanta, Alliance Jiu-Jitsu here in Atlanta.
So he used to live up here too.
Yeah, Junior lived here, yes.
Okay.
And he had a kid then. He had a kid really young. So he moved into jiu-jitsu, and I was out and about. Freddy actually stayed in Miami for another 3 years when we moved. Basically, he went back and he lived there for 3-4 years.
more like 4.
I think 4 years because he was married there. So Junior had joined jiu-jitsu in Atlanta. Freddie was still in Miami. He was married there. His
And I was still training
ex-wife.
capoeira.
He was
Okay.
still training capoeira. He became a certified instructor and all. And I was just out and about everywhere.
Yeah, just partying.
Oh, you can see me anywhere in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I used to have friends that were cops. I used to have a judge in Cobb County Court. That was my buddy. The
And that's how you met all
the
them.
prosecutor was
Yeah,
my
because
buddy.
he's been Cobb County Court so many times.
Yeah, I had some stories, and then I was just out and about, you know, this stupid shit, getting arrested. I mean,
That's what you do when you're young, though.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, it was a little bit too much. I'm not embarrassed to say the past, but and then Junior in the meantime was already training. He was training. He said, "Hey man, you want to start training?" I said, "Man, I know I smoke cigarettes." Yeah, because I just got with a bad crowd, and it wasn't very nice. It's 3 years of my life. As soon as I left Miami, when I left martial arts, I kind of gave up on martial arts. So I went back for good. This was
What brought you back, though?
Junior, my brother.
Really?
Yeah. So
Now, speaking of Junior, he also had a stint in UFC, didn't he?
he did, yeah.
And
He's a 2 times UFC veteran.
Veteran.
He fought there 5 times. He's got 5 matches there.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of fact, his last fight, the one that made him, the one that he got caught, he actually beat the guy. You know, he beat a really, really named guy, Ross Pearson.
Mm-hmm.
That was his last fight in the UFC.
Okay.
He actually beat him in a decision, pretty much. And,
Yeah. And then what happened after that?
he got caught. He had some problems. I don't know what. Maybe some personal stuff going on.
I got you.
And he's had some stuff with his management, and they decided to, cut him at that moment. But now he went back to Brazil. Junior he's been traveling consistently for 10 years
as long
traveling
as, yeah,
consistently.
He doesn't stay long, maybe a year in one place, but
he went to Brazil to live in Brazil, and then he became a champion there. He's a Southeast.
So he's still
champion in Brazil. He got a belt. He got national titles, the biggest event in Brazil there.
Oh wow!
I don't know the name of the event. I forgot that. But and then he joined another event in Brazil, which was like the second best event in Brazil. He became a champion there. So after he left the UFC, he's got 2 championship belts, not world titles, but national. He's got 2 national titles after he left the UFC.
Yeah, but still, it sounds like he's still having a good run, even though coming off of UFC.
Yeah,
like, you don't have to be a UFC guy.
I mean, I'm not bragging, but Freddy's on a 7-fight win streak. I'm on a 7-fight win streak in the UFC. Junior's on an 8-fight win streak elsewhere.
Yeah, and how long? I'm curious. Going back, I want to take a step back and go. Your cousin, how long did he fight, and what
he
did
became
he end up doing?
He became professional. He's probably if you look at it like his record, he's probably like 10-4 right now. 10-4, maybe 4-3, 10-3, 3-4.
But is he fighting anymore?
No, he's 38. Yeah, he's.
I would say he is at 38. It's 38 is getting there for fighting.
He didn't. If he remained, he could have maybe pushed a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But he quit. He quit right when we left. The family didn't support. There's no money then. You have to train 3-4 months, fight the tournament, and get paid $2,000.
Oh yeah.
And then you break your hand. The $2,000 kind of goes to your.
It goes to getting a cast on your hand.
So it wasn't. Well, he just for fun, and then he decided to just call it quits.
Yeah.
So started surfing around and.
So I'm curious because we were talking about this. I really want to talk about this because to me it fits really well with the whole idea that we say as garage athletes. Our hashtag, if what we say is we're badass on a budget, right?
Right.
Like, so we do it ourselves, right? And I see you guys, your whole family, as that, right? Because like we were talking about it before. You have a manager or an agent now, not a manager, and you have a lawyer now, but that's only like recent occurrences, like. All the way going up to you becoming into the UFC and everything, and with you as well. And do you have a manager and agent now?
I do.
You do? Is it the same guy or?
No, different.
Okay, so different guy.
Yeah.
But for most of y'all's careers coming up, you didn't even have that, right? You kind of just did it all on your own.
You know what happens? The scenery here, the scenario here, the MMA scenario here in Atlanta, it's a little bit of it's not as MMA is a new sport for what it is. Being in Atlanta, so you look at it in the West Coast, it's not a big sport. You take it to Atlanta, it's even smaller.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of what's the right word? It's just
there's not a lot of infrastructure and
it's not a lot of infrastructure as far as having a team, having the whole headquarters. Like you go to like Miami, they have like 3 or 4 headquarters. You're talking about 25,000 square foot of a facility that will offer a management, a training facility, recovery. And here in Atlanta,
staff.
Yeah,
but here you don't have that.
We're kind of on our own here now. So we try to pick and choose where we go. Like, so we train here, we train there. Freddy goes to like a specific physiology place. So we've got a the health recovery place that we go. And that kind of made us push a little bit harder too.
I was going to ask, do you think that helped you, or do you think had you have been set in this $1 million facility with everything from the get-go, you'd be better off now? Or do you think you would have gotten complacent?
It depends, man, because MMA is so complex as far as, you can have the best. Rampage Jackson is where he's at the best facility he was then. He was at
I know, he used to come to our, coming up, he used to come to our training facility and roll with us over there in Memphis, because that's
right.
Rampage.
That's right. Yeah.
Years ago.
Right. And he did lose a couple of fights. Even though he had the Muscle Farm facility, that thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Even he's back in the UFC now. I'm saying then he did lose a couple of fights then.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's a fight. It's psychological. It's got to be there.
Yeah.
If you got to physically be prepared, and just gotta go in there and do what you have to do. It's not really the right thing. There's never like the right thing that okay. So if my last fight, I had a 99% organic diet. Everything was clean. I was weight. Man, I felt great.
Was that the one that was in Brazil?
It was last time in Canada. I fought in Canada.
Okay.
My last fight was in Halifax.
Oh yeah.
So that being said, I had a perfect diet. Everything was perfect. I thought everything was so perfect. I was in a hyperbaric chamber every day, and then everything was perfect. When it comes fight time, I fought around midnight, 12:30 at night. I had no energy left.
Oh yeah.
I felt like shit, man. It was my worst fight. I knew I was like better than the guy. Everything was there. My technique was there. I had no energy. So
but that night, for whatever reason.
For whatever reason, that night was not. I thought having a good diet on organic diet would be good, and then I was like, man, you know what? Maybe I should have had.
You focused too much on.
Maybe I should have had one of those white muffins right after, instead of being so much on a strict.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Have a burger every now and then.
You gotta kind of have a contrast. You gotta have a little contrast of the whole situation.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that does a lot for your psyche, man. Like, if you focus on having every single thing perfect, like. In my opinion, it makes you a little less focused on actual training, and I'm talking about in strength training. And if you're training for CrossFit or whatever, I would imagine that would be the same situation with fighting. If you're more worried about like, man, I got to make sure that spinach I'm eating is organic and doesn't have any pesticides in it. That's one more thing that you're worrying about. That's much more stress on your body.
It's important to stay on it, and you're an athlete, you will know about that. It's important to kind of have a good diet or whatever.
So we're using the term athlete lightly or like loosely now, right? So you're calling me an athlete. Definitely losing it. No, okay.
Yes, you are.
I appreciate that. No,
this guy's an athlete. Man.
Yeah. Of course.
It's important, but that translates to to like my career. I've built my career from scratch. So when I signed with a big organization, I was 10-0. So I was out there. I was an up and comer, and then I decided to go with the WEC, which is it was the previous company that they fused with the
WEC.
UFC. Yeah, WEC.
Yeah,
they merged. They merged with the UFC. So I automatically
UFC's buying everybody out.
Yeah,
remember the days back in Pride.
They bought everybody now, literally. Man.
But see, I like that, and that's why I think your story and even Junior's story is so cool and unique, because to me it proves that you don't need all of those benefits. You don't need all that bullshit that everybody has. That some people have.
Why would a CrossFit gym in South California, Hollywood, be better than the one here in Woodstock?
Yeah. It comes down to the people that are in it, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
You're doing what you have to do. You're doing it with knowledge, of course. Where you can't, like, especially in fight, you can't be a stupid ass to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Don't fight.
No,
if you're a dumb ass, you don't need to be fighting.
And I think some fighters probably get that. Some of them, some people act stupid on camera.
Yeah.
But I also think a lot at the UFC level, because it's so sensationalized, I think a lot of fighters act maybe a little more stupid than they really are, just so they can get that aura about them. Because if you get a popularity, like if you like Tito Ortiz back in the day or something like that, if you start acting stupid and start wearing people's names on your shirt and saying I'm gonna kick your ass, like and then just yelling shit, or like what was it, Brock Lesnar when he was there, or as Paul Heyman in wrestling says his name, Brock Lesnar or whatever. He was saying, I kicked the guy's ass and now I'm pissed off. I'm not drinking a beer or something. They won't let me drink.
Oh, they love that, man.
No, it's part,
because
it's part of
the casual fan.
Sensationalism, like it's
the hardcore fans, but the casual fan, the people that, which is, it's the biggest percentage is a casual fan that sees it. The football fan or the WWE fan, and they're going, oh yeah, heck yeah, look at this guy, he, the baddest man on the planet, and
it's a machine trying to, and you said WWE, it's almost the same thing. It's, obviously not predetermined or whatever, but it's almost the same thing of a machine pushing a person and a personality. And if whoever's in charge of that machine believes this person has the ability to be pushed and become a superstar, they're going to push it.
Right.
So
they'll push.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about maybe walking into the arena and like crushing a beer can on your head or something?
Right? That's
what
I'll probably have to start doing or something. Because every interview I was like, I'm not changing who I am.
Yeah, you're such a mild manner, like you're such a likable person, but like you're mild mannered. You're not like a lot of those guys out there.
I'll burn energy, man. If I start talking here like Conor McGregor right here,
yeah,
I'll lose. I'll burn 500 calories just right now.
Yeah.
I try to preserve.
It's a hell of a metabolism.
Stop blowing up. It's like
Dude, I'll lose 6 pounds of sleep. So just talking right now and just that's not my style. It's like everybody's different.
Yeah.
See, I think that's cool.
But what you say is right. The machine kind of pushes you, and you just gotta go with the flow.
It is what it is.
Like when I become a champion, I'll go with the flow. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to create. There's nothing to.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you're a champion, you're a champion. You know what I mean? And people, that everything that comes with it. And I don't think that having a machine push someone is necessarily a bad thing. I'm not complaining about that.
It's part of the game.
I mean, because at the end of the day, it's all entertainment, right? Regardless of what it is, it's entertainment. It's on television. Yes, it's sport, but sport's entertainment. That's what it. Or sport is entertainment.
Right.
So and I'm not saying I disagree with it, but it is. I think sometimes it can be unfortunate for amazing fighters that don't have that over the top. You know what I mean?
Right. I can see how. You relate as far as the way we started and how we train here to same a lot of guys do. They'll do their own training in the garage or and it is the difference is we always had a manager kind of or agent kind of help us,
somebody helping you,
right, with sponsorships.
You gotta have people,
but it's not like they're doing it for free. You're paying them for that. But as far as in a state-of-the-art training facility with a head coach, Greg Jackson but
nobody likes that. Everybody likes a story of Rocky, anyways.
Right.
So to me, that's why y'all's story is something you could write a movie script to. Like you guys, you came to America, and realized your dream. Like you started in Brazil fighting in the streets like this. It sounds like I'm setting the course for like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie is what it sounds like.
Right.
You were fighting in the streets, 3 brothers came to America, and then now somehow all 3 of you guys are kind of at the top level of what you originally started doing for fun,
right?
As children.
That's
so
true.
To me, like, I mean, if someone knew that story and they talk about it, they're like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
We need to realize that too, that we...
Yeah, we do have. I mean, it's a.
And the American dream. I'm not gonna lie, man. The American dream is nice. I'm not like totally fulfilled of what I want. Like
you never will be. And that's what makes you a champion.
But that's the human nature too. You're never happy with what you got.
Champions are never fulfilled.
Right.
Yeah, but that is true too. But now we just gotta be thankful. I believe in God. That He has a plan for you.
It's this fine line, and there's a great book that I was just talking with Nick. Hey Nick, camera. There's a fine line. We were just talking about this book Sam Harris wrote. It's called Waking Up, and there's another one by Jim Lehrer called The Only Way to Win, I think it is. And both of them kind of have the same idea, the same premise of, you have to be content with where you're at because you can always achieve more. And people that are obsessed with the actual idea of achieving something never really find true happiness. You have to be happy with where you're at, but also if you're going to be a champion, you can't ever be fully content.
Right.
Because once you win the championship, you're going to want to win it again.
Yeah, that's
right.
There's a lot more stuff going on.
So you have to both have that tenacity. You both have to have that, but at the same time, you have to be content with where you're at. You can't win it and then be like, man, I'm not happy. You know what I mean? You got to be both happy and uncontent.
Right, you need that. Yeah, so definitely. And that translates to anything in life also,
Yeah.
You still have to be.
I love my mother, man, but I gotta say this. Mom was like complaining, because here, in my car. And I say, Mom, you live by the beach. You got a brand new car in the garage. You live beachfront almost.
Yeah. You can always find things to complain about.
Right.
There's never a shortage of things to complain about.
But that's like the human nature, pretty much. We're never content, but in some ways are good. But in some ways, we gotta realize
it's the way we are, and like I said, it's a thin line. Like if you're out in the sun, and the feeling of the sun is, and it says this, it talks about this in the book. We'll put links to the book if you guys want to check it out. But you're in the sun, and the sun feels good on your face for a little bit, but then you get too hot, and you need to sit in the shade.
Right.
And then the breeze from you sweating from the sun, and you're in the shade, cools you a little bit. Now you're a little cool. You're thinking about going to your car and getting a jacket because you're a little too cold. And then you put your jacket on and you're worried about, does this jacket fit me well? Does it make me look bad? Should I go get another one? It's like you're constantly moving on to the next thing.
That's true.
And it's hard. It's hard for us as humans to just kind of be aware and be happy with what we have and where we're at.
Yeah. And I respect people that live in, that they are, they're really happy with what. I mean, of course, like you say, it's a fine line. You have to be thankful, but you also have to have that ambition.
You gotta have ambition.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't have the ambition to be the best and that sense of always wanting more, then you wouldn't be ranked number 3 in the world right now. You wouldn't be ranked number 1 in the region.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I got a couple questions that I wanted to. Let's see. I'm gonna put this is a lightning round here. What So I think I already have the answer for you, Hafi, but I'll ask you first since he's drinking. What other than fighting and training, when you're not doing that, what is like your number one hobby? What is the most?
Freddy got me to this driving around track.
So racing
yeah,
track.
so it's funny because the UFC came into town. They're like, "Hey, we want to see how your lifestyle." Yeah, they were all excited. The whole crew, they flew the whole crew over here. And
oh wow!
I don't do much, just drive my car. And
but that's cool though. You drive a freaking race car.
Just drive my car. Yeah.
The UFC they came. Oh, you want to see what you do on the side, lifestyle? What do you do other than fighting? And then I'm all bored. The lady goes to my house.
Taking a video of you just watching TV at the house.
I don't have TV at the.
Oh, you don't have a TV?
Yeah, I don't have TV in my living room.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got a little TV in my room that I just watch before I go to bed. And that's it. And this lady, the whole crew was there, and I was like sitting in the living room. Hey, you guys want some organic chips? I'm like. And they want to do. They want to.
It's like seriously, like
they want to know how my life is.
Right.
Just
they want to create a story.
Well, I'm the next guy to be in line for the championship.
Yeah.
They want to know my story and they want to know what I do. I beat T.J. Dillashaw. I beat the world champion.
Yeah.
I beat the reigning champion now.
Yeah.
And they came. They want to know what I do.
What do you do?
Yeah. Like,
this guy. Oh, no wonder he is where he is.
He doesn't do anything but train. Yeah.
You ask him. Yeah. You ask him when is the last time he went to the theaters? It probably has been a couple of years.
I can't remember the name.
When's the last movie you saw?
I guess I'm not going to ask you what your favorite movie is.
I don't have no idea.
It was Only the Strong?
No, last movie I like Batman.
Okay, like the Dark Knight, the last Batman.
Yeah,
oh, cool.
Bang.
Oh, you saw that? I thought it was Batman and Robin, like back in the day.
Back in the '90s with Bruce.
So I drive my car, and then now I'm getting more like I went kayaking. The Georgia lifestyle a little bit.
Do you think that's helped you, like with your outlook on life, or like you're more focused now? Like, do you have an outlet? Like, because before you had the car, before you were into that, what did you do?
I train all the time, man.
That's it.
I don't miss a day of training.
Yeah.
Freddy knows how that works. I'm having problems with my ankle now because it's not fully calcified, and one of my doctors cleared me to train, and that was a little bit dangerous because once you clear me, I'm going all out.
Going all out, yeah.
So I lifted weights and I kind of felt my ankle.
You need to tell his doctors that, Freddie.
And then I kicked somebody really hard, and then I was like, man, something's wrong. So I went back and got a CT scan, and it's not healed.
Well,
so
keep kayaking, and work your ankle out on the clutch of the
Porsche. It was a little bit frustrating just because I'm wanting to get in there, but you just gotta let it. Just gotta let it.
Right, doesn't have a lot of patience, and when he's the way we and because of him, it has kind of passed down to me the way I learned how to train. Is, you never give up in training. You're always pushing. So even if it's just a training session, and I know that if he's watching me or I'm watching him, we expect each other to say you're not gonna lose that scramble against that guy, correct?
Yeah.
Let's go, and that's how we are. I mean, that's how we are in training every day. That's why it's dangerous on like my back muscles are jacked up. I actually went to get some shots this morning. Yeah. I
remember you had some back issues because you trained with me for a little bit, and you're even having back issues a little bit then.
So, end of last week, I start feeling getting tight again. And that's usually doing training camp when I start pushing really hard. So I kind of got it was jacked up a little bit. Got better over the weekend. Got some treatment done.
And you have like some like ART or like
just
regular
massage.
massage.
Just a massage.
Yeah.
And I got a guy that he's like a kinesiologist. He actually the guy that does my strength condition as well, and he's a kinesiologist as well.
Oh, that's
so
cool. It's
he
like a
understands
one-stop shop.
Yeah, he understands the body. So after I do my workout, he'll put me on the table and work on me whatever needs to be worked. Do some table work. So I got better over the weekend. Maybe 85%. And yesterday in training, instead of taking it easy, because I have that mentality, man, I was
you gotta learn how to pull it back.
Yeah, picking guys over my head, heavier guys, and go push. You have that little bit of that ego. There's a guy that he's like a high level college wrestler there, Sergio, and he's a really high. He's not a fighter, but all he does is grapple. And I went hard. I was like, man, I'm not gonna let this guy take me down. Or, I'm not gonna let him win a scramble.
No, but with experience, you can. Like some of the injuries I had, I couldn't avoid. Unfortunately, I had in 2 years.
You're not gonna be able to.
Right.
What happens is in 2 years I had 3 fractures. So if you put it in perspective, 3 fractures, you're looking at 4 months each. So that's a year out of there.
Well, a good way to look at it, and we talked about this. We had an interview with Dr. Yuri Feito, who's a professor at Kennesaw State University, and he does a lot of research on strength conditioning, functional fitness, CrossFit, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that he saw, and then specifically in functional fitness training, is you look at things based on the per 1,000-hour period, right? So you're putting so much time. Like there is going to be an injury when you put so much time in that. Let's say 1,000 hours that you put in, you get 5 injuries if you're fighting MMA, right? If I'm training twice a week, just rolling and messing around, how long is it going to take for me to get 1,000 hours? A long time. For you, it might be a couple months, and you put in 1,000 hours. And if it's been documented that it's shown as a usual or as empirical evidence showing that every 1,000 hours you put in, there are 5 injuries that will occur, right? If you put in 1,000 hours a month or in a couple months, then man, you get a lot of injuries. Yeah. So it's just the amount of time that you put into things.
Right.
I'm curious, talking about injuries and being off. We were talking about that, and you're racing cars. I want to know, you got them into the racing cars. What is your thing? Like if you're not training, you're fighting. What is your release?
Yeah, I've always been one of the things that I do most is I'm in the garage wrenching. That's one thing I love to do. Yeah, I mean, I love to get my hands dirty and go underneath the car. So I pretty much build them. I garage build my race car. I got a little race car.
Oh, cool. What kind of car?
It's a Volkswagen with a big motor, big turbo.
Nice.
It's
like a
Golf
like
GTI.
A GTI? Yeah,
cool. 92. It's actually a 92.
Man, I love those bodies.
Yeah, it's super light. It's like 1,800 pounds.
Classic.
Yeah. So,
you don't know this. I was in the automotive industry for about 15 years.
Oh, is that right?
So, yeah, so I'm familiar with it too.
Okay.
And I sold automotive salvage. I ran a company that predominantly did just European and Japanese style cars. Yeah, so I know pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the 16-valve motor. I pulled the motor out, put a bigger motor from the later models, the 1.8 turbo.
Yeah, the 1 turbo.
Yeah.
Diesel? Or was it not a diesel?
Not diesel.
The 1, okay,
the 20 valve.
Yeah, okay.
So anyways, I like doing it's kind of like some people go to the gym to release.
Yeah.
I go to the garage.
Gym is your job.
Right.
I go to the garage to release.
Release.
That's why we're in the garage now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but
so you really are a garage athlete.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
sorry.
right.
That was
technically yes, I am. I mean, but anything, I started golfing last year.
Oh wow!
And I really like that. I'm getting pretty good.
Yeah. Do you have a handicap or have you?
Right now I'm probably, maybe I'm gonna say 105.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not that great.
I suck at it too.
Yeah.
My dad was really good. I'm not a good golfer.
Yeah.
I'm left-handed. It gets messed up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's kind of, it's cool because it's different left-handed.
Yeah. I learned to play right-handed.
You did?
My father taught me, because his thought is like, well, you learn how to play right-handed. If you ever need to play left-handed because of a shot, you'll be better off. And I just am really left-handed, so I just wasn't ever really good.
You still play?
Every now and then. I've been trying to play more. I've
Really?
been trying to take my dad out to play because my father won a lot of tournaments. He actually probably could have gone pro,
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
but he was so worried about his business and taking care of us kids that he never really pursued it or whatever. So
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Hawks Ridge.
We need to go hit some balls.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah.
We should go. I can take you to. You ever been Hawks Ridge?
I don't think so. No,
It's nice course.
I haven't heard it. Where is it at?
It's ball ground.
Okay.
Yeah, it's way up there. 20.
Okay.
It's 20 and I forgot where it is, but it's beautiful out there.
Cool.
It's a nice course.
So that's funny. So you work on cars, and you
Golf.
like to play golf.
Play tennis.
That sounds like an old man right there.
I started to play tennis.
No,
with my
we
girlfriend.
travel a lot, man. It's just what do you do here in town? We travel a whole bunch,
Yeah, that's curious.
He's
too,
he's
yeah.
always out. He's always out of town with his fiance, and I'm always traveling, man. I'm always in Vegas. Not always in Vegas, but I'm going to
You travel
Vegas
a lot.
for the UFC fan expo.
Okay. And you're kind of his corner man, right?
Yeah,
When
we
he
always
fights?
corner each other.
So if he's out of town, are you typically out of town too?
Not really. No.
You mean in training or in fighting?
I guess either one. Yeah.
No, I mean in training. If he's out of town, I'll still go train same way. Of course, for fights, we always corner each other.
Yeah.
Of course, we have, coaches and but definitely.
But you guys were your kind of first coaches, anyways.
Yeah,
so.
we're first. So like we were talking before, for a long time,
But it's important to have like a main guy.
Yeah.
We did have it was kind of like it was bad luck, and at the same time it wasn't, because we had like our head coach. He was pretty much he wasn't retired, but he was like slowing down on his competitive career, and now he's back in the UFC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his name is Juan.
Okay.
Carnero.
Huh.
He's a UFC. He just beat Mark Munoz. So the guy is like,
Is that class above you? Weight class
Yeah.
above you? Okay. Yeah.
like two
classes.
2 or 3 weight classes.
185. Yeah.
So have you ever had to fight without Freddy in your corner?
Yeah.
You have. Did it
Yeah.
feel different? Did it not feel right? Or I mean, are you so focused in when you're
We
there?
know what
that
to
it's-
do. We
Well,
talked
it was-
before. We know what to do. Like
Yeah, we'll talk on the phone before. Hey.
between
Yeah.
rounds? Like, hey.
No, like before we head out to the arena, hey,
Yeah.
or before when getting warmed up.
Yeah.
It goes for
Junior-
all three of us.
Junior having cornered me in a couple of fights, like
Yeah,
in
I-
maybe
I-
5 or 6 fights.
I think I've cornered you for your last maybe
last 3.
10 straight.
No, you didn't go to Brazil. You went to you didn't go to Rio. You didn't go to Fortaleza.
I remember the last one.
Rio and Fortaleza.
You were here when you fought in Brazil. I can't remember the guy's name. It was when you guys were coming here. You were training a little bit here, messing around with some Olympic lifting that I was showing you.
Right.
And you had a fight in Brazil and you won that fight. That's
Mhm.
probably the one you're talking about, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
went.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one in Rio. First time you fought in
You went to
Brazil.
Barueri, São Paulo.
Oh, that's right. That's
so
right.
he went to São Paulo.
Well, put it this way: if I'm not there, it's because he didn't bring me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Seriously.
No,
I mean,
but
it's-
sometimes if the head coaches are there,
Yeah.
so we had another head coach that came into town. He's in the movie industry, which is huge now in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so
really
he
is
was
getting
here.
big.
Yeah, he was here for like a month, 2 months.
And one of our coaches actually moved from California to come here to be an actor,
that's
oh really?
which is weird. You're like,
Oh,
you're
really?
already in California.
I
Why would
know.
you move
a
here?
lot of people.
It's
No,
cheaper.
Well, a lot of people are coming. He lives here, but now he's gone for 3 months now to shoot a movie. Like, oh, great. We got a new coach now, which he was gonna be part of the coaching staff. So we'll have you be just an addition.
Well, it's cool to have a team, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool to have, especially family.
And now he's shooting a movie now to
Who?
coach Asian coach.
Oh really? He is.
Coach Arnold.
You know the
So
name of
now-
the movie coming out? Or they
I don't,
haven't
know
seen his
I don't
name?
know if I can say.
You're not even allowed to
either,
say it? Oh,
yeah.
that's all
I'm
right.
not sure because there's a lot of contractual stuff.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because
I
I know
gotcha.
because I have
So crazy.
my UFC
Everything-
contract is about like
It's like a novel.
150 pages. Yeah,
Oh
it's a
my
novel.
God, really?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Not
Did-
150.
Did
but
they go
it's
through
at
all
least-
of it when you
it's at
signed
least-
it?
It's at least 50 pages. I'm pretty good at reading contract, all the clauses now.
So they gave it to you and made you read it, and then you had to they didn't like have someone go over it like when you were there, right?
Really. I have it in my email.
Like, oh man, that's crazy.
I have my contract.
So I'm curious. It's something that I was wanting that I want to know is take me through, and I'll ask you this one. I'll ask you the second. Take me through a regular day of what you do. Like, what's the first thing you do when you wake up on just any given day, just like a normal day for you?
Just regular day. I'll wake up with a just a real strong breakfast, consisting of like a real good shake. And I'm sure everybody is familiar with the shakes now. I'll do the vegan protein, just helps you digest.
Okay.
So by the time I get to the academy, I'm already digesting what I'm.
Do you get a lot of carbs in that too, or is it just all protein first thing in the morning?
More protein, So I'll get a little bit of carbs from maybe sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll grab a cup of coffee with a little bit of sugar, just 3 little packs of sugar.
Yeah.
So that give you a little bit of sugar there, and fruit. Maybe a fruit, a little carbs from fruit, but no heavy pancakes, no bread, nothing like that.
Do you when you wake up, do you hit your shake and go straight to the gym, or is there any like ritual you do at the house, like when you wait? I mean, are you achy now, like just from
Yeah, we're
like
pretty achy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're pretty used to being sore and achy, and pretty much leaving the house right after.
Yeah.
So I'm, in
so you don't like
camp,
take showers first thing in the morning. Like I have to take a hot shower in the morning, or I feel like death.
Not really. I don't. I just wake up. I'm more about preparing my shake. Which is, I'll have.
Is that like your morning meditation?
Yeah.
Just to, like
so
put it all together.
Preparing everything, or so.
Take me through that. I'm curious to see exactly what you have. Take me through making your shake.
Well, just so we'll do like almond milk with 40 grams of protein, with a half a slice of avocado.
Okay. So lots of fat.
Yeah, good fat, because it just it burns a little bit slower. And then some greens, definitely some greens on there. Okay. Either like whole food leaves, or either just a scoop of greens, and that's it.
Okay, so like peptides. So you're not like cutting up like vegetables or anything.
No,
in the morning.
No, I'll just do the
not
shake
enough time
right
for
after.
that probably.
Or so I'll vary the days, and instead of having that same shake every day, one day I'll do the shake, the next day I'll do like 6 eggs.
Okay, so you're not eating the shake every day. You get
I'll change it up a little bit.
Okay,
just to keep the variety. So let's say on a Monday I'll do the shake. On the Tuesday I'll do 6 egg whites, 2 yolks with a lot of spinach, like whole leaf spinach mix on there. Big cup of coffee. We're good to go.
So you big caffeine the first thing in the morning.
Big cup of coffee. Freddie, I'm sure is the same.
Are you hot coffee or cold coffee guy?
Hot.
Yeah. So I gotta have, now that it's so hot outside, I gotta have like iced coffee in the morning. Like if it's cold, I like hot coffee. But
so by the time we in training, then we're usually like sipping on a little antioxidant, little amino in training. So when training is over, we're just so hungry, we're just dead. So I usually do like a whole food meal.
Yeah. You eat like a big meal after training?
A big meal.
Are your training sessions? So do you train every morning?
Yeah, we train from like 10:30 to 11 to 1 o'clock every day.
Okay.
Or
so decent, a couple hour session.
To 12:30 or.
And is that just boxing and cardio, or are you doing strength training then in the morning, or what?
All martial arts in the morning.
All martial arts in the morning. Okay. And then you just eat a whole full meal. Is it like what's your favorite meal to eat after training?
I don't want to be this just straight up diet guy, but I'm starting to eat by color, man. It's crazy because I was reading a lot. I go to Lifetime Fitness, and they have they send me a magazine every month, and they give you like tips on what to eat. Mm-hmm. So I kind of go by color now with my veggies. Just try and be as broad of a spectrum of color as you can. As much as I can.
Yeah. That's smart.
Even without, and I told that to my dad too, because he's on a diet now, because he was a little bit high on his cholesterol. So I'll try to eat with no flavor, no nothing, just try to eat as much as I can as far as the variety of veggies, and then the protein, of course. A little bit of brown rice, a little mashed potatoes, depending on what my weight looks like. I can have a little bit of little carbs, and then just protein, just meat, lean meat.
So you're training, and Fred, do you guys live together or are you separately?
We live separately.
We live separate?
Yeah.
So do you have anything, does your day look identical to his, or do you have anything special that you...
Totally different.
Really? It is?
Yeah.
So what do you do first thing when you wake up?
Well,
Play video games, or do because that's what I do.
I like really?
No, not really.
I like
I've actually been meditating a lot more in the mornings.
Oh,
I
really?
found that, yeah, it's helped me kind of focus to get my work done.
Right. That's good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm all over the place as it is, so trying to hone it in.
You let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
My
I'll give you some tips. Yeah.
You meditate in the morning or after? Or?
I do it in the morning, and nothing like crazy, not religious or anything like that. Just when I wake up, I got to take a shower, and not that anybody cares what the hell I do in the morning. I'm not in UFC, but I have to take a shower to get kind of feeling good and going or whatever. And I go in, I make my coffee, and I've been doing something recently. We put a video out on it's called Protein Coffee, where I just put some protein powder in with my coffee, and it's because for me, if I eat a big meal in the morning, I get sluggish. So I just drink that, and then I'll do about 10-15 minutes of just meditation, just focusing on breathing and stuff like that. And then if I've got some work emails that I've got to do, I get through that, and then I'll typically have some type of sugar or like fruits or something like that, maybe juice before I go train. If I eat meal before I train, I get sluggish. My training sessions could be 3-4 hours or whatever when I train, so I try to keep that, and then I just pig out after my first training session. Right. I typically take a nap too.
Yeah.
So, but what do you do that's different?
Well, I like to wake up a little bit earlier than my brother, because
what's early now? What's early?
Well, early. I would usually wake up around 7.
Okay, that's not too bad.
I wake up around 7, and I like to kind of just take my time. As far make my coffee, lay on the couch downstairs for a little bit.
So that's a form of meditation. Just nothing going on.
Yeah.
No noise or any crap.
Right. Yeah. Walk the dogs.
Yeah.
So I get start getting ready. So I have some coffee, and then my fiance she'll make me breakfast.
Nice.
Eggs and vegetables and stuff. So a pretty big meal. I can actually eat a big meal and go straight to training. I don't have an issue. So that's when I see Rafa, and I will train, and then from there, I go straight into from training. I go straight into a private class, and from the private class, I'll eat lunch, then. After lunch, some days I'll go straight to the gym to teach for the rest of the night. Some days I have about an hour and a half to go home and take a nap. Just eat and take a nap.
So are you a big napper?
I love to nap. Yeah.
Do you take naps?
Yeah, we have to nap right after some, especially in training camp. After our first session, we gotta take a quick nap.
Now, what are your naps though? Because naps range widely, like to 20 minutes sitting upright on a couch to like laying in bed for 2 hours with the lights off. What do you?
Yeah, it varies.
Yeah.
Sometimes a 20-minute rep, it can actually give you good rest in 20 minutes if you're fully.
Yeah, they say that if you're gonna do like a 20-minute nap, to not completely get horizontal, like don't lay all the way down, and just to be at a 45-degree angle, because then your brain doesn't fully turn off.
Right.
Because a lot of times
when you wake up, you
get groggy.
Right.
Yeah.
It does. It happens to me.
Yeah, 30 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
Because you sleep in 90-minute cycles. So your REM cycle is 90 minutes.
Right.
So if you sleep for like, say, an hour, and you're fully, like, you're in the middle of that cycle, so it takes you longer to wake up. So that's why I was curious. So sometimes just 20 minutes.
Sometimes
just power nap.
Yeah, I'll get home around 3 o'clock, and then I'll take a 3-hour nap sometimes when I need.
You ever just lay down on the mats at the gym?
No. I'll get home, and then I'll wake up at 6, and then I'm crazy wanting to train again. Yeah. So I'll train from like 6. He's usually in class from 6 to 9. He's training, and I
wish it was 6. It's more like 4.
4 to 9.
Yes. Like I have 2 days that are really busy. That I'll go from training to a private class. From a private class, I'll eat lunch real quick, go straight, and then I have a 4 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, a 6 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock.
Oh my gosh!
And then I'm back at home around 9.
Do you feel more tired on those days at night than you do on the days that you don't have as much going on?
Yeah.
See, I found that during the day, if I stay busy, I'm not as tired. Like if I've got a day where I don't have shit to do, I'll just
you feel more.
I'm sluggish.
Right,
like I just feel like beat up. But
and I don't mind because I'm constantly I've been doing better. I actually put on 5 pounds of just having a lot of snack, almonds and dry cranberries and yogurt, cottage cheese, stuff that I can be eating throughout the day.
Are you trying to put on weight right now for weight class?
Well, not anymore, because I was staggered at 165 and I was trying to get to 170. Now I'm at 170.
Top of the weight class.
Right. Yeah. Just to be a little bit stronger. And I couldn't put on weight, and I said, man, let me, I talked to my fiance. She started making me little meals,
Yeah.
And so if I'm teaching between classes, I'm eating. Yeah. I have plenty of energy, and I still train with my own students at night, so I get a good workout, and I'm very active. That way I can eat a bunch, and I'm burning because I'm walking, I'm showing positions, I'm showing someone how to do a takedown.
It's not like you're sitting at a computer screen,
right.
At a giving somebody IT help or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. So, well, I won't ask you this question because it's obvious the last movie you watched that you liked was Batman. But I'm curious, what do you have Netflix? Do you watch TV?
We do.
You do? What's in your Netflix queue right now?
Our Netflix. Let's see, a whole lot of action movies.
Okay.
A whole lot of.
Do you watch those at night?
I do.
Does it get you jacked and then you can't go to sleep?
Not really. I'll fall asleep.
I can't watch action movies at night, man. I won't go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
What I do if I'm really awake, man, I'll have 2 sips of wine, and that will knock me out straight out.
If 2 sips means a bottle for me, it's all or nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I'll have 2 sips, but I'll have 2 more, and then I'll have 2 glasses, and then it'll turn into that. So it's like all or nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nah. Like
that's control.
Yeah. 2 sips and I mean, 2 little fingers in a glass, and I'll have, and my fiance makes fun of me all the time. She's like, man, you can't stay awake. I mean, if I take 2 sips, 10 minutes, I'm
passed out.
I'm done.
Wow.
So it's, it kind of works out.
Yeah. So a lot of action movies. Do you watch any television shows?
Yeah. My favorite is King of Queens.
King of Queens, really?
Man, I love that show.
What about movie? What's the most recent like action movie or romantic comedy or whatever you're saying that you've seen that's your favorite recently?
Man, one of my favorite movies that I've seen recently, again actually, it was Interstellar. Have you seen
Interstellar?
That movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
that's one of Nick's favorites.
That's a brilliant.
He's giving you a thumbs up.
Brilliant movie, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
movie.
the special effects on that. Didn't they win an Academy Award for special effects, or was it sound? Yeah, something weird, but they won something.
That thing was probably my top 3 movies ever.
I'm not even a huge Matthew McConaughey fan, but
yeah, no, that was an awesome movie. As far as my Netflix, I mean, there's a lot of action. I mean, I watch a lot of documentaries as well. I love stuff about, like Science Channel and History Channel. Stuff about the space or nature.
Yeah.
I can watch it all. And then of course all the chick flicks from my fiance.
Really?
I just
so you got to sit
shit,
through those?
Man.
You sit through those?
No,
I can't. Or is that when you go to sleep?
I sit next to her, but I don't sit through them. I mean, some of them are funny though. Like, what was the movie? Bridesmaid.
Okay, I've seen parts of that. I'm kind of the same way.
It's hilarious, dude. I mean, it wasn't the funniest movie ever seen.
You guys.
Seriously,
you live in the bachelor life though, right? Like you get to watch whatever you want to watch.
Man, I just browse through stuff and.
So you do watch Netflix, but it's only like
I don't have Netflix.
You don't have. Oh, so you just got like television.
Yeah.
You just go through. Is that like just in your bed? Do you watch TV before you go to bed?
Yeah, before I go to bed. Yeah. Usually I'm on.
He's more on the computer.
Yeah.
I'm on the computer. But there's 2 movies that I want to mention.
Okay. All right. Well, see, he did some homework. Now we're talking about it.
No. I've been trying to watch it for probably about 6 months now. It's Unbroken.
Okay. Is this about the runner? Right?
I think so.
I've seen that.
Sprinter?
I've seen
it.
Yeah.
I've seen a badass movie.
So they told me to watch that one, and it's 3 months ago.
So you haven't seen it yet?
Well, it's in May. No, it's 2 months ago. May. Yeah, in May.
Unbroken. It's a great movie.
Oh, you wrote it down to watch it 2 months ago, and you still haven't done it.
Yeah, last month, May. Last month.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard some good things about it.
And the other one will be there's another one I want to see. Hopefully that it works out.
Which one?
American Sniper.
Oh yeah.
You gotta see that.
That was actually a really good movie. Clint Eastwood did that one, and that was I enjoyed it. Like I mean, it wasn't like over sensationalized. It was kind of, the whole movie was a little bit understated.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You what?
It's a baby doll in the movie.
It's a baby doll in the movie.
Baby.
Oh, is it? Yeah. When you watch it,
I
just remember it's a fake baby.
Yeah.
It's a fake baby.
Yeah,
They
just
did
remember. Just watch. We're not going to tell you what happens.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Why they did that?
I don't know.
Well,
stupid.
you gotta know what. Anyways,
Yeah.
watch the movie.
Right.
Now you gotta watch it. Now
Okay.
you gotta, it's like, man, I don't know the baby.
I'll
Go watch
watch
it at night before you fall asleep. I think it's on on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, I've actually watched it on my Netflix as well. I mean, there's a lot. What was the movie that's coming out Friday that I want to see really bad, and I'm gonna go see?
Is it there is a movie that was coming out recently that I want to see.
It comes out Friday.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
I'll look it up and we'll get back to it. It's is it Jurassic World?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see that so bad.
It should be good. It should be pretty good. So we're almost done here. We've been talking for a little bit. First of all, thank you guys for coming out. This is really awesome.
Thank you, man.
And
Thank you, man.
I want you guys to talk about your sponsors and all that other kind of stuff for both of y'all. But I'm curious, one last question, and this is maybe a cliche question or whatever, but both of you guys, what is your like pre-fight mental prep? Like what's going through your head? Like, the big questions, do you get nervous before fights and all that kind of stuff? What kind of goes through your head? What's your mental prep before you walk into the octagon?
In this stage is all about executing what you train, you train for. Just executing what you have.
So you're just going over what you've been doing.
A slight. You do have a little bit of a game plan.
Yeah, you've probably watched tapes of whoever you're fighting.
Yeah, you watch a
like
lot
that.
of tapes on. But I usually don't have a set game plan. I kind of go with the flow a little bit. But
was it Mike Tyson said everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the face?
Yeah,
that's right.
true.
So
It's true, man.
It's cool to like have slight, kind of know what you're gonna do in there.
yeah.
You don't want to just I'm gonna brawl.
Yeah, well, if you're going up against a striker, someone that's really strong striking,
at least the fundamental
Yeah.
of what you're gonna do, and just executing what you trained for.
So do you visualize yourself punching the other person in the face?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Arm bar him or something like that? Yeah.
Defending any of the shots and recuperating. When you're after a scramble, when you're tired.
I gotcha.
So you visualize a lot of the stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
So visualizing what you think is going to happen to try and make it actually happen.
Sure.
Yeah. What about you, Freddy? You say same thing?
Yeah,
or?
pretty much the same thing. I'm compared to Rafi, I'm a little more calm, and sometimes it kind of costs me a little bit of being a slow starter.
When you say calm, do you mean start like when you're there across the room, or when the actual fight starts?
Right. Well, both. I don't feel a lot of adrenaline before
Anxiety.
I go to, yeah. I'm just
It's from the wine.
I know, right?
You fall asleep.
Probably.
Have you ever fallen asleep in the ring?
Nah.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, Raphael has knocked me out.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
before.
technically,
So, yeah,
passed
so
out. Yeah,
technically.
He wasn't knocked out. It was just
was a knockdown.
It was just a hit.
it's trying to make you feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
Hafi.
Nah, I mean, so it's what I basically put on my mind, because I mean, you're really going, you're going. It's because it's combat. You're gonna get hurt, not hurt per se, but you're gonna get hit in the face. You don't wanna. You have the fear, which it makes you. What really makes you fight is because that fear of not getting hit in the face, but the fear of losing.
Yeah.
I have a big fear of losing, but it doesn't. I don't let the anxiety get to me, but I still have to. It still goes to anybody that you're about to walk in the ring.
You guys have gotten hit plenty of times,
right?
You're perfectly capable of
It's
enduring
just,
a lot of pain.
It's the fear of losing, fear of being embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, that's personally, I so I would say, okay, you gotta go in there like it's a hard training session, okay, but get the job done. I mean, go and beat this guy and do what you need to do. So yeah, I mean, I guess everybody is different. You see some guys in the back, you know, screaming,
jacked,
punching the walls. You know, some other guys are just chilling. Some guys are listening to music.
Yeah.
You know, so
I was listening to a podcast with Bas Rutten not that long ago, and he was just talking about how everybody has anxiety going in, but the difference between him is that he was so prepared, and he would look across at the other person, and like everybody's trying to psych each other out when they're looking at each other, and he would just look at their stomach, and he would be able to tell if their stomach is shaking or quivering. He knows that he's got him right there.
That's bad.
He hasn't fought in forever, obviously.
Right,
know, the level of it or whatever.
It's different.
Maybe by the way the heartbeat.
Yeah,
the heartbeat's going.
Yeah,
because you have to kind of control your heartbeat too, otherwise you'll be too.
You guess.
Yeah, like you're talking about, a lot of guys get really jacked. You spend all your adrenaline before the fight. When the bell rings, you've used half your energy. Like you said, if you spent all the time doing promos with everything, then you'd probably lose 10 pounds because all the energy.
It's true, man, and it does drains you out. You know.
Yeah.
When a fight, of course, when you throw the first punch, you kind of feel okay. You know, it's an auto mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's just like in competing in CrossFit. You know, like you don't really think about, man, am I gonna be able?
You have anxiety until 3, 2, 1, go,
Boom,
and then as
boom.
soon
And
as somebody says go, it's
and then
gone.
it's autopilot.
Yeah.
But I mean, you feel. So the more adrenaline you have, the more sluggish you're gonna feel in the fight. And of course, if you don't prepare well, if you eat wrong, like shit the wrong way. A lot of people.
Now I'm curious about that. Caffeine. Do you guys take caffeine before fights, or is that even legal, or like what are the rules with that?
It's legal, but we don't do it too much.
You don't do it?
Not too much. I mean, we'll drink a cup of coffee, you know, on the way to the arena.
Yeah,
that's
but not you're not taking like Explode or anything before you go in there, because I've heard stories of people like taking like methamphetamines and stuff like that in fights to get like I guess a mental edge or whatever. But I would imagine that would just make you just crazy.
Yeah,
like
that
I think it might give you reverse effect.
that Explode, that shit would fuck me up,
dude,
man.
Get you messed up.
That thing.
Have a heart attack in the middle of the ring.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I was addicted to it at one point.
And
I was too.
That kills my cardio. I don't know why.
Well, there's up to 300 milligrams or so for about a 200 pound man is about the ergogenic properties of caffeine. Anything past that has negative returns, right? So like between 150 to 300 milligrams is probably what you want. If you take more than that, then it's actually negative. And then if you add in like the vasodilators that are in Explode and all these other things that commonly occur in our brains, but when you overload it and your body starts to become dependent on you giving it to it as opposed to it making it itself, over time it will stunt those things. So that's why people have anxiety or panic attacks and stuff on these type of things, because they just overload that whole system.
It's like it's a drug.
That's all it is. It is one step probably below methamphetamine, a lot of it.
Crazy.
So guys, is there anything you guys want to plug or talk about your sponsors and stuff like that?
The UFC got a new sponsor that they Reebok just acquired. UFC just acquired Reebok.
Oh wow, that's huge.
So Reebok's with us now.
And CrossFit is Reebok too.
It is, huh?
Yeah,
right.
CrossFit's
great. It's a great addition to part of the training too. You just gotta be careful. You don't want to do stuff that it's not.
You're not gonna do.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna help you in the martial arts.
You guys are specialists, and that's the difference. And that's what when people talk about CrossFit, like CrossFit can make anybody better at anything, but at the end of the day, the thing that's gonna make you the best at what you do is training exactly what you do. Like we could improve your cardio, probably. We could probably get you stronger. But none of those things matter if it's not applicable to what you actually do. So you're not going to do the same kind of training that one of our regionals athletes would be doing, all the kipping pull-ups and stuff like that. That's not going to help you. Yeah. So cool. Reebok, what about you? Anything you want to plug?
I don't have any sponsorship set for this next fight coming up yet. So I mean, I'll give a shout out to my training partners. The guys and my coaches, the people that have been helping me. My family, and of course, Titan FC, they've been great. I just re-signed with them, and they've been great with me so far, So yeah.
And where could they guys? Because you guys do training as well, right? Is it Ascension?
Ascension MMA.
You guys have a website for that, or where they could find that online?
/KBX.
Yeah, we have the Ascension website and Facebook, Twitter, but it's based out of KBX Gym in Alpharetta.
Okay.
So that's where I run my program. You know, we have the kids, teens, and adult MMA program.
Okay.
Which is it's great for the whole family.
Cool.
The whole family can come and check
Learn how
us
to
out.
beat each other up.
Yes, right.
So where can we find you on social media, Twitter and Instagram and all that?
At Raphael Assuncao. At RAPHA again SSUNCAO at Raphael Assuncao.
Okay, we'll put links to that in there, so in case anybody has trouble with it, because that's a lot of letters.
Right.
So, and what about you, Freddy?
Freddy _ Assuncao. So for the Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram.
Okay.
You know, Freddy 2Ds, FREDDY, and then Assuncao.
Okay, cool.
Altogether.
And as always, guys, go check us out, garageathletes.com. You can find us on social media at Garage Athletes. That's with an S. And YouTube as well. Garage Athletes is our channel. And if you've got any questions for us, make sure you go to the website, garageathletes.com. Sign up for our newsletter. I'm at GarageCoachJM, just like it sounds on Instagram and Twitter. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm
Thanks,
stoked
man.
about it. We'll see. I hope you get healed up soon and you get to beat the shit out of who'll be your next one? Uriah, right?
TJ Dillashaw.
Oh, Dillashaw will be the next
Yeah.
one? Yeah?
Well, they're fighting I think they're fighting in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
They're fighting in June for the championship.
So then potentially the winner out of that.
Potentially the winner.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, guys. What about you?
Cool.
Next fight up?
I mean, July, Montreal.
Montreal.
Montreal, yeah. We don't have a set date yet. We're just waiting to finalize that.
Do you have an opponent?
From?
I might have an opponent. A guy that was on the Ultimate Fighter. His name is Cody Bollinger.
Okay.
So
Good
we
stuff.
might match him up with him. I think it'll be a good fight.
Cool.
He's like a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well, good luck, guys. We'll be looking for you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
I'm excited to come back here, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
We're being freaking good.
Yeah, let's do it again sometime, man.
I'm all for it. See what we can do now.